speech, you have to go to war with your mind. My brothers and sisters, I stand before you today with a message that goes beyond the physical struggles we endure. It goes beyond the wars we see on our streets and the conflicts that divide nations. This is about a war that each of us must fight, a war that will determine the course of our lives and the fate of our souls. It is the war within your mind. The greatest prison is not built of bricks and iron. It is built with fear, self-doubt, anger, and hatred. I know this to be true, for I have sat behind bars, but I never allowed those walls to imprison my mind. The moment you let fear dictate your thoughts, you have surrendered your freedom. The moment you allow doubt to creep into your heart, you have given your enemy power over you. We must recognize that our minds can be both a battleground and a sanctuary. It is where every dream is born, and where every dream can die. The oppressor will always seek to sow seeds of despair in our minds. They will try to convince us that we are powerless, that we are unworthy, that we cannot rise above our circumstances. But we must go to war with these thoughts, and we must win. This war requires courage. It requires discipline. But most of all, it requires love for oneself and for humanity. You cannot claim victory over your mind if you harbor hatred, for hatred is a chain that will weigh you down. You cannot claim freedom if you hold on to fear, for fear will keep you enslaved. True strength is not found in the fists of a fighter or the weapons of a soldier. It is found in the heart that refuses to be conquered by despair. It is found in the mind that chooses hope over defeat, dignity over shame, and peace over violence. In this war, there will be days when you feel defeated. There will be moments when you question your worth, your purpose, your very existence. But remember this: no one can take away your freedom unless you give it to them. The key to your liberation lies within you. It lies in your ability to silence the voices of doubt and replace them with a chorus of hope. You have to fight for your dreams. You have to fight for your peace. You have to fight for your truth. But above all, you have to fight for your mind. For once you conquer the battle within, no force on earth can ever enslave you again. Go to war with your mind, and you will find that victory does not belong to those who fight with violence. It belongs to those who fight with love, resilience, and unbreakable spirit. Let us wage that war today. Let us free our minds, for when we do, we will have the power to transform not just ourselves, but the world around us. The time has come to rise. The time has come to win the greatest battle of all the battle, for the greatest battles are fought within us, not outside of us. This truth resonates across cultures, ages, and experiences. While external conflicts capture headlines and victories on physical battlegrounds are celebrated in history, the silent, relentless war that rages within every human being is often overlooked. Yet, it is this internal struggle that defines who we are and shapes the trajectory of our lives. Each of us carries within us a battlefield of emotions, thoughts, fears, and desires. It is a landscape where doubt clashes with determination, fear challenges courage, and despair battles against hope. Unlike external wars, these inner battles are not fought with weapons or armies, but with resilience, introspection, and a profound commitment to self-growth. These conflicts may not leave visible scars, but their impact can be far more enduring. They determine whether we rise above adversity or succumb to it, whether we achieve our dreams or abandon them, and whether we find peace within ourselves or remain prisoners of our own minds. The war within often begins with doubt. Doubt creeps into the mind like a shadow, questioning our abilities, our worth, and our purpose. It whispers that we are not good enough, that our goals are too ambitious, and that failure is inevitable. This internal voice can be louder than any critic and more relentless than any adversary. But the battle against doubt is also where the seeds of self-belief are sown. When we challenge our doubts and take even a single step forward despite them, we begin to reclaim our inner strength. Each victory, no matter how small, builds confidence and reinforces the belief that we are capable of more than we imagine. Fear is another powerful adversary in the internal battle. It is a force that seeks to paralyze us, to keep us from taking risks, and to confine us to the familiar. Fear warns of failure, rejection, and pain, often magnifying the worst case scenarios to keep us from acting. Yet, fear is also a teacher. It reveals what we value most and points to areas where we need to grow. Confronting fear requires immense courage, but it is in facing what we fear most that we discover our true strength. When we push beyond fear, we expand our horizons and uncover opportunities for growth and transformation. The battle within also involves managing the weight of past failures and regrets. It is easy to carry the burden of mistakes, allowing them to define our present and limit our future. Guilt and regret can chain us to moments we wish we could change, but the truth is that the past cannot be undone. The battle here lies in accepting what has been and choosing to learn from it, rather than being consumed by it. Forgiveness, both of ourselves and others, is a powerful weapon in this fight. It liberates us from the grip of the past and allows us to move forward with renewed purpose. Another significant internal struggle is the pursuit of self-worth in a world that often ties value to external achievements. Society frequently measures success by wealth, status, or appearance, creating an endless cycle of comparison and inadequacy. The battle within involves resisting these external pressures and recognizing our inherent worth. It is about understanding that our value does not depend on the approval of others, but on the acceptance of ourselves. This realization requires constant effort and self-compassion. It involves silencing the inner critic and nurturing a sense of gratitude for who we are, regardless of societal expectations. Hope and despair also engage in a ceaseless tug-of-war within us. Life's challenges, losses, and uncertainties can easily lead to feelings of hopelessness. During these moments, it is tempting to surrender, to let despair take root and extinguish our light. Yet, hope is a resilient force. Even in the darkest times, a small spark of hope can guide us forward. Cultivating hope requires faith in the possibility of better days and a belief in our ability to overcome. It involves surrounding ourselves with supportive people, seeking inspiration from stories of resilience, and taking small steps toward our goals, even when the path seems uncertain. The internal battles we fight are deeply personal, but they are also universal. Every human being faces moments of doubt, fear, and despair. What sets us apart is how we choose to respond. The path to victory is not an easy one. It requires self-awareness, discipline, and a willingness to confront our vulnerabilities. It is a journey of continuous learning, where each setback becomes a lesson and each triumph a testament to our inner strength. Ultimately, the greatest battles within us are fought for the most precious rewards: peace, purpose, and authenticity. These victories may not be celebrated with fanfare or medals, but they bring a profound sense of fulfillment. They enable us to face the world with clarity and confidence, unshaken by external circumstances. When we conquer the war within, we unlock the potential to live fully and authentically, to pursue our dreams with unwavering determination, and to build lives of meaning and impact. Self-doubt is one of the heaviest chains a person can carry. It creeps into our thoughts, making us question our abilities, worth, and purpose. It tells us that we are not good enough, that we will fail if we try, and that others are more deserving of success than we are. Self-doubt can manifest in countless ways: hesitating to take a new opportunity, avoiding risks, or settling for less than what we truly want. It stops people from pursuing dreams, speaking their truths, or standing up for themselves. It keeps us in a state of hesitation, always second-guessing our choices, and it robs us of the confidence we need to live boldly. But self-doubt is not an inescapable condition. It is a learned behavior, often rooted in past experiences, societal pressures, or the influence of others. It is reinforced by negative self-talk, comparisons with others, and a lack of self-compassion. To achieve true freedom, we must confront this inner critic and replace it with a voice of self-belief. We must recognize that perfection is an illusion, and mistakes are a natural part of growth. Each time we challenge self-doubt, we chip away at its power. Each time we take a step forward despite our insecurities, we prove to ourselves that we are capable of more than we imagine. Fear is another chain that binds us, often more tightly than self-doubt. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, these are powerful emotions that can paralyze us. Fear tells us to stay where we are, to avoid discomfort, and to seek safety above all else. It keeps us in familiar, predictable routines, even if those routines no longer serve us. It whispers that taking risks will lead to disaster and that change will only bring pain. While fear has a natural role in protecting us from harm, it becomes destructive when it stops us from pursuing growth, happiness, and purpose. True freedom requires us to confront our fears head on. It demands that we ask ourselves, what am I truly afraid of? Often, the things we fear most are not as insurmountable as they seem. We fear failure, yet failure is often the greatest teacher. We fear rejection, yet rejection is rarely the end of the story. We fear the unknown, yet it is in the unknown that life's greatest adventures lie. The process of conquering fear is not about eliminating it altogether, but learning to move forward despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act in spite of fear. With each act of courage, we break the chains that fear wraps around us, and we move closer to true freedom. One of the greatest tragedies is that many people never achieve this freedom because they believe the chains are unbreakable. They internalize self-doubt and fear as truths rather than temporary states of mind. They believe that they are not smart enough, talented enough, or worthy enough to achieve their dreams. They accept the narratives that society or their past has written for them, and they live within the confines of those stories. But the truth is that these chains are not permanent. They are constructs of the mind, and the mind can be reshaped. The first step toward breaking free is self-awareness. We must recognize the thoughts and beliefs that hold us back. We must question their validity and understand where they come from. Are they based on facts, or are they assumptions we've made? Are they the result of one negative experience that we've allowed to define us, or are they patterns we've absorbed from others? Self-awareness allows us to see the chains for what they are, illusions that can be challenged and changed. Once we become aware of these mental chains, the next step is action. True freedom is not achieved through wishful thinking or passive hope. It requires intentional effort, resilience, and persistence. It involves stepping out of our comfort zones, facing discomfort, and embracing uncertainty. Each small act of defiance against self-doubt and fear strengthens our resolve. It might be as simple as speaking up in a meeting, applying for a job we think is out of reach, or saying no when we mean it. These actions, though small, are acts of liberation. They are reminders that we have the power to shape our lives rather than being victims of circumstance.